Hey, all you Splinterheads, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here saying thanks for dropping by. With Land 1.5 right around the corner, I wanted to take a look into what made up our land of Praetoria. What all the regions and territories look like, where our land plots were. I found it pretty interesting. Where did our creatures come from? Where do our characters, the various characters in the Splinterland story, reside? With that said, the team has been releasing a series of lore articles, and I figured I'd dip into them. And with that, I'm going to do a series of short videos. In this first series, each one of them is going to be about each particular territory in Praetoria. So hopefully you like it. You might get a little bit of information out of it. If not, it's a little bit of flavor. I like it, and hope you do too. With that said, this has been Bronze Dragon, and I'll catch you on the flip side. The Shimmering Coast territory is bordered by Central Fire to the west, the Wild Northeast to the north, the Greater Plains to the east, and the Splinter Sea to the south. It derives its etymology from the bioluminescent algae indigenous to its coastal area. The Fenmore Basin is an extensive dendritic drainage basin that comprises the whole of the Shimmering Coasts. It is a relatively flat expanse of lowland descending from higher elevations in the northwest to sea level at the coast. Numerous sub-tributaries merge into tributaries of the system's main river, the Raithholm River, which flows from the snowmelt in the central Agravass through the Fenmore Basin and into the Splinter Sea. The Fenmore Basin's drainage system is governed by the area's topography and the consistency of its strata, with each waterway following the overriding gradient of the terrain. To the north and west, the Shimmering Coast is separated from the Central Fire territory by the Agravass. To the northeast, it is separated from the Great Lowlands territory by the Dagenloft Mountains. Although it supports a wide range of biomes, the Fenmore Basin is predominantly wetlands, and the Bog of Whales, Praetoria's largest swamp, is a tropical marshland located on a floodplain near the basin's center. The bog stands upon a water-bearing stratum of permeable limestone and is fed by runoff from the Raithholm River, which bisects the bog's western edge. In certain areas, slower runoff has also created an accumulation of almost 6 meters of peat. The Bog of Whales is a web of sawgrass marshes, sloughs, and wet prairies. In places, islands of hardwood trees rise on limestone plateaus about a meter above the sloughs and prairies, while at even higher elevations, pine lands have little to no periods of ground saturation. The bog experiences frequent flooding during the wet season, while during the dry season, its porous stratum maintains a storage of water. A form of bioluminescent algae unique to the Shimmering Coast are found along much of its coastline. Exceptionally resilient, these algae thrive both in the shallow reefs along the coast and upon the rocks, sand, and mangroves near the shore. During the hours of darkness, their ethereal greenish-blue glow creates the illusion that the seacoast is shimmering, earning the territory its moniker. In addition to the aforementioned Raithholm River, other major rivers, including the Rowan River, which forms a river delta with the Raithholm River, the Welkin River, which branches from the Raithholm River and flows both into and out of Lake Welkin, and the Evermore River, which flows south from the Dagenloft Mountains. As mentioned, there are also numerous tributaries and sub-tributaries throughout the area that flow into the Raithholm River. Major lakes include Lake Demire in the northwest, Lake Ive, and Lake Bale to the south of the Bog of Whales, and Lake Welkin farther to the south. A large recursive island stands at the center of Lake Bale. The Pandemonias are an archipelago situated in the Splinter Sea off the southwestern coast of Praetoria's Greater Lowlands and Shimmering Coast territories, encapsulating the Gulf of Alexicus. They consist of around 1,000 islands, which are divided into the northern Pandemonias in the Great Lowlands and the southern Pandemonias in the Shimmering Coast. The archipelago is a direct result of uplifted folds and faults created by the collision of lithospheric plates, creating a nearly continuous series of subduction zones. Subsequently, the Pandemonias experience frequent terrestrial and undersea seismic and volcanic activity and are prone to daily earthquakes and upwards of 20 typhoons per year. The climate is tropical maritime and usually hot and humid, with the elevation being the primary consideration in temperature change. Rainfall is generally extremely high in the coastal and mountainous regions and significantly lower in some of the more sheltered valleys. The Pandemonias have a variety of natural resources, including an abundance of mineral deposits resulting from their complex geologic structure and high levels of seismic activity. They are also home to a significant level of biodiversity and harbor a large proportion of Praetoria's species, with many being endemic to the area. Likewise, a wider variety of forest types grow in the Pandemonias than any other area of Praetoria. They include mangrove forests, beech forests, pine forests, jungles, rainforests, cloud forests, and montane forests. The Bellarican Empire has laid claim to much of the southern portion of the Shimmering Coast and continues to expand north to the Fenimore Basin and west to the Central Fire's southern highlands. Its capital, New Bellarock, is located at the delta of the Wraithholm River and Rowan River. Anchi, located on a recursive island at the center of Lake Bale, is home to a large population of dark Eternals. Several smaller settlements are scattered throughout the Bog of Whales pinelands as well. Of the native Praetorian settlements, Skittertruss is the largest. A settlement of Terrapin Tortesians, it is located at the northern Wraithholm River, while various indigenous tribes and smaller settlements of other species call the territory home as well.